interesting, and it's very, very complex. How do you think this could possibly relate to a narrative environment? Not a trick question. See how you could possibly rate. It's almost like a kind of Rubik's Cube type toy.
Yeah, I think it relates to narrative environments in the sense that it tells a story through the reinterpretation of something I got from nature, which was an artichoke. So it's telling the story of the artichoke, what are its characteristics, its properties, through another media, and in a conceptual way.
Yeah.
So I think it does relate to narrative environments as well.
I'm not disputing it. So you probably know, if you've read the course, that narrative environments is about working in teams.
Yes.
Always working in teams, multidisciplinary teams. People from graphic design, fine art, they might come from journalistic backgrounds, photography.
That excites me a lot.
Interactive, filmmakers, the whole lot. It does produce really dynamic work. And some students, they like the sound of that, but when it comes to working in a group, they find a problem that they don't have their kind of voice. They're not in charge. They have to concede to the wishes of the group, which they might not agree with. How do you think you could deal with that?
Oh, that's not a problem for me, because most of our projects during my university, USP, were all in groups. Except, for example, my final graduation project and a few others, but mostly we worked in groups, and I actually prefer working in groups so that we have the possibility of exchanging ideas, having different perspectives, and even more so from people from other areas as well, from graphic design, from journalism, historians, so on. I think it only comes to enrich all the process, all the discussion, and then the final solution achieved.
Now, a lot of these ideas have been worked on, over a very long period of time, and sometimes with narrative environments you do short projects, urban interventions that might have a tiny budget, and you just got to use the materials that are lying around. And they've done a lot of those kind of projects in places like Istanbul in Turkey, in very deprived areas. It's not always about a huge budget long-term project. That people are quick and they have to be really innovative and literally using what comes to hand. Does that sound like an interesting challenge?
Very exciting, yes, definitely.
Yeah, it won't involve pages and pages of complex drawings. It involves the thinking on your feet really quickly and having to make a decision as a group.
Yes, I think it will be a great experience for me, because it will be really practical. I will have the possibility to really test my ideas and get hands-on about it.
Okay, well, I'm happy to offer you a place on the course.
Thank you.
Congratulations. I think you've got a lot to offer the course. I think you're very articulate, and I think you know exactly what you want to achieve from it. And I do think you understand what the course is trying to achieve. A lot of students think it's just exhibition design. No, it isn't. Exhibition design can be a tiny part of that, or it can be a huge part of it, but it's like very kind of immersive experiences where the surroundings actually influence the way you think, the way you act, the way you perceive something. And those can be very, very basic, on a real street level, like the projects we did in Istanbul. Or they can be very sophisticated, interactive projects. They did a very famous piece called Play Orchestra, which you might have seen on the website, on the South Bank of London, where there were seats that responded to people sitting or standing on. They played a musical instrument. Yes. You could create an orchestra from people sitting on the
so that people interacted as well. To create
there was another one called the Songboard, which was an interactive board. very low tech, made out of spinning
Oh, I've seen
globes
that.
that
Yes.
people could make words and messages and patterns. It was a huge success. Very, very simple technology. And it was a space where you had hundreds of thousands of people passing through every day, not looking at anything, just getting to work, getting to this, to King's Cross, this huge station in what was then a huge development zone, a massive building site. And they would just play with it. And it just totally uplifted their day. And it was such a simple, effective piece of narrative environment design.